Welcome to the Steve and Crypto Show. This is Steve.
My name is Crypto Zoo.
How you guys doing? This episode, we're going to talk to our friend Greg Smith, the writer of the Junior Braves of the Apocalypse graphic novel series on Oni Press. It's a great comic about a scout troop who goes on a camping trip and comes back, and the zombie apocalypse has taken hold of the world. It's a good book. I don't know. Have you read it?
I haven't had a chance to read it yet, no. But I'm a pretty busy guy these days, and I need to fit that in. It seems like every time I try to pick up a book or a comic, it's late in the day, and I end up falling asleep in said comic or book or whatever it is.
Right. Well, yeah, it's really good. Like I said, the apocalypse, and since that's the topic of the world right now with the whole COVID thing, how have you been keeping occupied besides family and work, and what are you doing to stay entertained, man?
Oh man, I've been kind of diving into the whole Shudder rabbit hole and watching a lot of things in there. I watched this documentary all on 80s horror the other night that you actually suggested to me, and it was great, man. I didn't think I was going to stay awake to watch it, and I ended up watching the whole thing. I fell asleep for maybe 5-10 minutes towards the end, but I caught everything else, and I really enjoyed it. It was a fun viewing, so I watched that. I've been watching Creepshow. Watched all of that. It's sad that it's only 6 episodes because it's really a tease and it makes me want more.
I think on Creepshow, I think I read something that AMC was picking that up, and they were going to continue it there.
Really?
I could be mistaken. I have to look into that for sure, but that could be really cool because I think AMC puts out some pretty good stuff with like The Walking Dead and Into the Badlands. They had some like really gory stuff, so I could see them doing some horror on there. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, that'd be a good home for that show.
But Shudder is perfect for it, but I think it deserves a wider audience.
It does.
Yeah,
that show is great quality. I love it.
I think Greg Nicotero is doing a really good job with it. I definitely want to see more of it. And you mentioned that documentary. It's pretty good so far. I'm about an hour into it. I keep falling asleep because I'm like kind of, like an old fart. As soon as my head hits the pillow, I'm like done. I'm like, I'm going to kick back and watch this 4-hour documentary, and I don't even get 1 hour into it. So it's it. But
I'm like that.
Go ahead, man.
I was going to say, I'm like that kind of when it comes to writing or reading a comic or whatever. Same thing. I'm like, all right, I'm going to sit down and, knock this out. And an hour in, I either don't like what I came up with or I'm asleep.
That's just part of getting old, man. You'll catch up.
Yeah.
Promise. Oh, yeah. Like my birthday's coming up and I'm turning fucking 41, and that's ancient. You remember being young and thinking about turning 40, and it's like you're an old man and you got your walker and you're over the hill, and some days I feel like that. But
right.
What do you miss most about the world since all the lockdown and quarantine and all that stuff?
I miss being able to have little gatherings, being able to go to conventions and being able to go to concerts, and even the movie theater. It's expensive, but every now and then, for the right movie, you got to put down some cash for it. You got to go. You hit the dollar store for the snacks before. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to the lobby for their snacks and paying $11 for a bucket of popcorn. But I'll go to the dollar store before I go to the theater.
Yeah, I agree 100 on the theater. That's probably like the thing I missed the most. Like overpaying to hang out in a dark room with a bunch of strangers and eat overpriced junk food. But there's something about that. It's like that's like what, I don't know, man. It just has that, like, it's like an event more than just watching a movie. You can watch a movie at home on TV, but you go out to the theater like friends or
well, and the right movie can almost seem like the memories of going to that film can seem like a concert in a way. I remember going to see all of the Jackass movies in the theater because everybody was laughing together. You're all crying, and then you kind of missed half of the next segment because you're laughing from the last thing they did. or Deadpool. You know, that was a memorable one in the theater because everybody was just loving it, man. And, you know, there was so much fresh content in that one. Pardon the background commentary.
Yeah. So it's an appearance by Caleb's family. Welcome to the show. Nothing. But
good. He's good now.
Yeah, I think I get what you're saying about you know, it feels like the memories and the experience of it. Like, I don't remember. It might have been you actually that came and watched Night of the Living Dead with me.
Yep, I did.
Because that's my all-time favorite horror movie, and I grew up like obsessed with that movie, and I'm still obsessed with that movie, and I watch it multiple times every year. And as many times I watched it, I've never seen it on the big screen. So when they released that a couple years ago, when they did a remaster of it, which came out beautifully, I had to make sure to see it. To me, it was like breathtaking. It was my movie. Like, I have more memories of watching that movie than I do of like all the Star Wars movies.
Yeah,
it was good, but
it was very memorable. It was a good time. It was cool that they had the little, you know, kind of behind the scenes segment before the movie, you know, with George Romero and certain cast members talking about it and the experience of making it all. That was fun.
Yeah, definitely. Was that your first time seeing the movie?
Oh, definitely not. No. Oh, no. I've seen that plenty of times before. First time watching it in the big screen like that, you know.
Yeah, that's something I'd be waiting for. But, of course, Night of the Living Dead is kind of an influence on our guest Greg Smith's comic.
Well, isn't that a good tie-in?
That's a good tie-in, though. And I think I hear like a zombie in the background. Yeah. Yeah. So why don't we just get to the interview and you guys meet Greg Smith?
Hope you enjoy it.
Hello, this is Agoro, host of the Agoro Show, and you are listening to the Steve and Crypto Show. So keep your ears open and your mouth shut.
Welcome to the show, to the Steve and Crypto Show. Got to throw that in there because that's kind of important, I guess. And we're going to talk with a good friend, Greg Smith. He's a writer of the Junior Braves of the Apocalypse graphic novel series and the brand new Starlight comic, which they just ran a Kickstarter for the first book, and you're about to start one for the second. Tell me about it. When are we getting the second book?
Second book. Well, we are planning on dropping this Kickstarter at the end of the month, which is coming up real quick. So in August, we'll be launching this. So it's just a matter of when Kickstarter gives us that magic date. But right now we're finalizing everything, and Travis and Travis Webb, the other co-writer, are finalizing all that Kickstarter business, and Brett Wadelli has finished up all of the he's finished doing the finishing touches on all the art stuff for book number 2. So we're getting all that stuff taken care of. So we're just moving right along, and hope that as soon as we run the Kickstarter and that's completed and finished, it'll be boom, books out again, and then we can start this whole entire cycle once again, one more time.
So, with the Kickstarter, you guys blew way past your goal with the first book.
Yeah.
Right.
I was surprised. It was one of those things where we had set the goal. We didn't anticipate, obviously, our current world situation as it is, being everyone locked down, COVID-19, coronavirus being such an impact to the comics community. We were really hoping that I'd be coming back from C2E2 in Chicago, and we would be launching the Kickstarter the week after and bringing that to Emerald City with us when we went, and be running that concurrently with that weekend and bringing people in and talking it up and having a great time at the convention. And all things were shifted sideways all within that 2-week period. You know, get back from C2E2, and it seems like everything kind of went on pause, and it's been on pause for quite some time.
All right. So considering you didn't have that outlet to promote with the conventions and everything being canceled, so you guys feel pretty good about.
Yeah, I mean, like it was interesting because we had to pivot a lot because we didn't have the convention circuit, like where if you know me, you know that, and you see me at conventions for Junior Braves. I like to talk to people. I like to take that opportunity. And it's not generally about pitching the book itself. It's just to really just find out what people like and then see if it's the right fit for them. And if it's not the right fit for them, I'm not going to like try to sell them on something they don't want, you know. But and same with Travis too. You know, we just like to really engage people and have conversations. And we were really hoping to be able to have that. And we realized we were not going to be able to do that because we're not at conventions, but how can we do that? And we realized, well, I guess there's all these streaming services available out there. So we took advantage of Facebook live streams, Twitch channels, people taking us into onto their Twitch channels and doing lunch hours with other creators and doing art nights and stuff like that with other creators where they're drawing and live streaming that on Twitch and playing video games with folks and watching movies and other things. And at some point, yeah, we got a little nuts. Travis and I took some challenges. People threw the gauntlet down, and maybe some heads were shaved. Maybe somebody put a bounty on my eyebrows, and that definitely. I think once people start to realize that we are doing this for multiple reasons. One, we have a book series that we want to do, and we really enjoy this book series. We enjoy working on it, writing it. But we also realized that because the comic book circuit, the convention circuit was going to be put on pause and we were on hold in a holding pattern, that diminished our ability to reach out there to talk to people. But the person that it hurt the most of the team was Brett, our artist. Comic conventions are a major portion of how he gets an income. He's able to network, talk to people, bring them in as fans of his, and do all sorts of great stuff with them to do commissions and set up other things for, you know, moving forward, and then meetings and other things like that with other creators so that he can work on other projects. And he was unable to do that from C2E2 on, right? And we realized that was going to take a lot of money out of his pocket moving forward. So how are we going to keep our friend afloat? Well, we better really hustle and make this comic book happen. So Travis and I, we shifted also, we pivoted again, and we realized, you know, like right off the bat, like this wasn't going to be something that all we cared about was make the book. We didn't care about making any monetary thing for us, for Travis or myself. It was all going to make sure that Brett got taken care of, you know, first and foremost. So, you know, we sat down and had a conversation about that, and we're like, okay, we can do this, this, and this to make sure the book gets done. We can make sure this, this, and this gets done to take care of Brett, and that's all we need to do. And then moving forward, you know, same kind of thing. And you know, we wrote out a multi book series. So with the intent of keeping people engaged and excited about it, and hopefully it'll keep going in that vein, but also keep Brett's pockets full and you know, help hopefully sustain some of that excitement and interest as opposed to him being out at shows and other things like that. So that you can get that excitement or get people to come in and check him out on his other pages so that you can do some commissions and other things like that as well.
Right. It's just, you mentioned the challenges, like the eyebrows disappearing and stuff.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get any of that for the?
Oh, yeah, dude. So like this time around, obviously, like you can't, like, I don't know if you're using video, like I know for our chat and stuff like that, but for your listeners and whatnot, My hair is growing back. My grandma's excited. For those who don't know, my grandma lives with us. She's 88, and actually, yeah, she's creeping up on years. But she was happy that my hair is growing back. She likes it a little bit longer. And with the new book coming out, well, the challenge could be thrown out that I could lose my hair again. Travis's hair is growing back out as well, and my eyebrows are back, which was nice because I looked kind of funny without them. And so it elicited a lot of stares when I went out to the market occasionally. So yeah, definitely you'll see more challenges such as that, and then other things I'm sure will happen. I might even do some food challenges. I did some food challenges in the past at conventions during panels. Last summer I tried to eat a 2-pound summer sausage in a hour-long panel during a vegan intermission in which I did a panel with a vegan artist. I know it sounds really ridiculous, but it was a conversation that she and I had, and she would eat the same amount of vegetable matter while we were doing the panel, and talk to a bunch of people about, foodstuffs and other things. And I was vegetarian for a while in my life, and I figured it would be interesting to have a conversation with people. And it happened in Wisconsin, or not Wisconsin, Omaha, Nebraska, of all places. So I figured like the amount of meat eaters and stuff like that would be like, oh, hey, no big deal. Vegans came out in storm, and I got some dirty looks.
But the important question is, did you finish the sausage?
Oh, dude, I got 3/4 of the way done, and I mean, it was a big summer sausage. It was huge, and I mean, like, I was left with a nub. But yeah, no, I got to a point where I was powering through it, and I was feeling pretty good. But in the end, man, summer sausage won. I was defeated. I got the meat sweats. I was sweating from the inside out. And at one point, I was walking through, and I had bought a bunch of Oberto meat sticks and other things like that to give away as like things. And the last thing I wanted to even see on the plane was meat products. So I was just throwing them through the convention as I was walking back to I was like, here, take it, get it, take it, have it. I don't want it. I was done. And yeah.
So is that when you went vegetarian?
No,
it's a different time.
No. That was when I was young.
You were just like, I don't ever want to eat meat again.
Oh no, I just couldn't. I couldn't eat the summer sausage for a while. But I'm thinking, I might try something. Who knows? Maybe the sauerkraut challenge. I might try to eat 2 pounds of sauerkraut. That might.
Oh, that sounds worse than the sausage.
I know, right? But I like these weird things, right? So 2 pounds of sauerkraut might be there. I might try to eat a whole cauliflower in a sitting. It's possible. You're looking at me. I mean, and then maybe I might try. I'll do those things, and then I might try the summer sausage again.
Just put it together and just make a smoothie. Drink the smoothie.
Well, so I'm not sure if you saw, but I've been making these monkey meat sandwiches. Oh, they're awesome. And I don't know if you know what monkey meat is, but
explain.
Monkey meat. Now, this is a childhood favorite of my wife's, and my wife's. Anne grew up eating these sandwiches, although they didn't call it monkey meat. They called it's like a bologna paste sandwich. Her grandmother would run bologna chubs through a hand grinder and just grind down these chubs of bologna and then put it into a big mixing bowl and then regrind it again. So it'd be just like smooth, just like a big old smooth bowl of bologna. Just smooth in texture. Just imagine all this bologna meat just smooth. And then throw in a couple of tablespoons of mayonnaise and relish, and then just whip that bad boy up. So imagine like an ambrosia, if you will, like an ambrosia salad, or one of those like fluffy, whipped, like creamy, buttery salads that you get, like, you know, one of those jello-y things, but with meat in it, and you put it on a sandwich.
So I think you've probably just turned my 4 listeners into vegetarians.
You know, but it's honestly delicious, and it's one of those things. Like I went back to the Midwest, went back to Wisconsin with her when we first started dating, and while her grandmother was still alive, and her grandmother made this dish, and I ate it one time, and I was like, this is actually really good. And I've been thinking about it, and I've got a lot of time on our hands right now, so I bust out the grinder. I go to the store and I buy a couple of chubs of bologna. I get the mayonnaise, I get the relish, and I whip it up. I grind it out, and I smooth grind it out, and I grind it again. Man, I 4 times grinded it. And I have a video I put on my TikTok channel of me grinding the meat, and people were like, what the, you know, because it's just dumb looking, right? I mean, it's like, it's meat going through a grinder, but I'm just grinding it out. It's the only time I ever used a KitchenAid, I think. Like, got this thing for a wedding, and we've been married for like 12 years now.
Finally got that opportunity to use the big fancy piece of equipment.
She uses it. I'll clarify. She bakes and she uses it. I don't touch it that much because I'm afraid of it. I'm afraid it'll like grab my hand. It's like shop class, right? They always tell you like don't wear gloves when you're cutting wood or whatever, because it'll grab your thumb and then like, you know, rip it off, and then you're like Thumbless Joe, the guy that teaches the class. You're like, you think I'm joking, but our shop teacher, Thumbless Joe.
that reminds me of that South Park episode in the shop class. Remember that one? Where like, stop screwing around. Yeah. But let's talk about the comics some more.
Oh yeah.
That bologna stuff kind of. I'm vegetarian, so it's like it sounds terrible to me. But
are you really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
But so the comic, not everybody has had opportunity to read it.
Okay.
Not everybody knows about it. What's it about?
So Starlight is about a brother and sister, and like most brother and sisters, they're complete opposites. They're going through life. They're teenagers. They're living here in the Pacific Northwest. And but they're dealing with some different things, right? So we meet them in book number 1, and I'm not going to give too much away, but enough. We meet them, and they basically like they're going through, like I said, their brother sister stuff, but they got some stuff that's a little different about them, because along comes this guy that's knocking on their door and wants to talk to them. And why does this guy want to talk to him? Because he's a reporter, and he thinks he's got a hot story about this brother and sister that he thinks that they might be these superheroes that have been out of the light for a while. So are they the superheroes that are hiding out in the Pacific Northwest? Who knows? Who knows?
Gotta read. So can people still find issue 1?
Actually, well, that's the upside. Is like with Kickstarter for number 2, we're doing a thing where you can actually get book 1 and book 2 as a tier. So if you missed out, you can get both. So right now, currently, we did the run for the print run, and Travis said we're out currently of books, so which surprised me because we fulfilled all our Kickstarters, and all of a sudden we had a couple places reach out. We had a couple comic book shops and other orders, retailers and stuff like that want to hold the books, so it was kind of crazy.
So how far are you guys hoping to take this book? How long is the series going to run? Like how?
So let's see. We have, I want to say we have about several issues already written for the book series. So a complete story arc for one complete 7-issue run.
All right.
So it's something that Travis and I have been working on for roughly about 2 years in the writing stages of it. To give your listeners a little background, Brett and Travis had gone to Burning Man a few years back, and Brett was like, gosh, I really want to do a book with, I want to do this book idea that you had. And if you had ravers that were, that had these kind of like powers, or something like that. And that's kind of where the genesis of this is, because one of the characters is a raver and they're powered. God, I gave some stuff away.
Oh, spoiler.
Spoiler.
Now people have to buy it.
Now they have to buy it. Yeah, I mean, it's it's also like with book one, when we put it out, we had Ian K put out a track for it, so released a track along with the book, so it had a soundtrack. A couple mixes were put out to go along with the book as well from other DJs, so that was pretty cool to have the actual rave community come together to help push a book that is very much influenced, obviously. If you look at the cover, and you've seen the new cover, the two new covers for book number 2. We've got the drive-in cover where you've got the brother and sister sitting on top of a car, and then you've got the rave cover. So it's and that's by our guest artist Jen Ayub, who's come to us from Boom Studios. So if you have anybody that likes the Adventures of Gumball or Adventure Time or Steven's Universe, any of those fine products and books, or I want to say Lumberjanes and the Lumberjanes Gotham City crossover. She's worked on all those things. So
I didn't even know Lumberjanes did a crossover with. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I read a couple issues of Lumberjanes. It's a pretty cool book.
Yeah, so she's one of their she's a line artist and cover artist and stuff like that for a few of the books that they have in their awesome catalog of young adult and teen books. But this was a cool partnering. She's a friend of mine and Travis's that has come over and said, hey, do this thing with you guys. And it's like, awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So that's Starlight. It's the name of the comic. And
Starlight
we're getting
comic.
Starlight comic. And we're getting the Kickstarter for book 2 in August. Hopefully.
Yes.
That's the plan.
That is the plan. You'll find out more stuff on Starlight at Starlight Comic on Twitter and Starlight Comic on Instagram. And then you can follow us on Starlight at Facebook and get all of the details.
So what about some other projects that you're known for?
Oh, hey. So thanks for asking. We got Junior Braves, the Apocalypse books. That's where most people might know me from. Classic kids fighting zombies. Mike Tanner and Zach Lehner and myself have been working on that book series for, gosh, it has actually literally been like almost a decade now. It's kind of weird. We actually just put a role-playing game out for the book series this summer. We're supposed to be at San Diego Comic-Con this week and pushing that and talking it up and showing it off between that and Gen Con. But as I said, a lot of shows have been canceled, paused, and other things like that. So we're doing it from the comfort of our own homes, and hopefully we're going to get a campaign going with Gremlin Legions, the awesome designer of the book. So he was the designer who we worked with. He took a look. He's a friend of mine. It's kind of a weird little family that we've created, Team Junior Braves. So Zach, Mike, and I created the book series and worked on that together. And then a friend of mine who I play RPGs with, I played RPGs with for a while and hung out with down in the Portland area. He was like a fan of the Junior Braves books, but was like, dude, you need an RPG for this book. And we talked about it, and I was like, I just don't know how it come about. Like it's one of those things. And we kicked it around. And then all of a sudden, fast forward like 9 years or like 8 years, and he's like sitting there at his day job, and his boss comes in and is like, here's a stack of books. Take a look at them and tell me which one you want to work on. And he was like, I know this book. Yeah. What do you want to do with it? And he's like, what? Because he's like, I have a whole like list of things that we've already worked out for this. And so they kind of like worked through a bunch of stuff, and Gremlin Legions worked with his boss at Renegade Games, and they came up with a bunch of different ideas of how to go about it. And they found that reskinning the Kids on Bikes RPG, which had a great success rate because it's a very easy access, low barrier game for people who want to play tabletop RPGs but haven't before. They can jump into it, play a scenario, and roll out a character with a lot of ease. And it's just a super fun way to get people into something and play like a game that's kind of like playing an episode of Stranger Things, if you will. That's kind of what Kids on Bikes is like. And they were like, well, this kind of format would be great if you took that format and put it under this book and put it in a zombie apocalypse. So they took our characters or character models and our situation and put it on top of this gameplay. And lo and behold, we've become part of the Kids on Bikes franchise. So Junior Braves of the Apocalypse, Kids on Bikes teamed up essentially with Gremlin Legions Renegade Games and put out this awesome game, which it looks so pretty.
I haven't had a chance to check it out yet, but without the conventions and stuff to get out there and show it off and talk about it, are you guys still getting pretty good feedback, or is it getting out there? Are people buying it?
Yeah, it's so last week was Free RPG Day, which for folks that don't know, it's kind of like Free Comic Book Day, but for role-playing games. So role-playing game stores will give away RPGs, a sample booklet or whatnot, or a sample game, and Junior Braves of the Apocalypse role-playing game was chosen as one of those games that they would make a game for and give away as an RPG for a Free RPG Day. So it's kind of cool because 5 years ago we were on Free Comic Book Day. We were a comic book that was given away, and now we're a Free RPG Day book. So it's kind of cool. But they're giving that away, and now people are wanting to go out and buy the actual book to play because they're like, oh, this is a really cool quick start guide. I really like playing a little bit of this and playing it. How do I play more of it? How do I get more of it? So I think that the game will actually help with pushing the sales of the book series as well, and get people interested in books 1 and 2. And then during that time frame, give Zach some time to be able to finish up book 3 that he's working on right now.
And so there is a book 3 coming.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Book 3 is coming out. I know you're waiting with bated breath. Where's book 3? You've got all these questions.
Yep.
What's going on? The city of Kent throws out a meme last night where it's like a picture of Mount Rainier, and it says the season finale of 2020. And then I respond back from the Junior Braves Twitter account, stop giving away spoilers for our book series. Not that that's going to happen, people. Not that that's going to happen. But it is funny and ironic that Mike and I are like kind of comics or Nostradamus, if you will. We've kind of, if you take a look at some of everything that we've talked about in books 1 and 2, and as we're moving into book 3, unreleased, but what Zach is drawing out right now, a lot of things really fit everything that's going down in 2020. And it's so weird to have people pull panels, take pictures of it, and then put it up against actual news images or stories and shoot it over to me in a DM or something. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many things. Like Mike and I are thinking we might need to do like a breakfast or something like that and talk to people and have people ask us questions like, how did you guys know? We didn't know, man. We just, just nerdy dudes that like apocalypse stuff, but also, we're hip to reality. And well, it's kind of
coincidence,
weird.
Right? Strange coincidence.
I don't know, man.
So maybe book 4 you could write a real happy ending, and
I hope, man.
Everybody's rich at the end and we're all retired. And
well, the sad part about it is, in book 2 we start to see how things kind of go sideways, and in book 3, you just wait, it goes hella sideways. I'm just saying, and that's not spoiling anything. If you read book number 2, you already know. Yeah, I don't know. Book 4 and 5, I think they're gonna. Yeah, when you get to those later books, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something different.
So these are all already being planned out then. So that's good.
But with the current timeline, the current state of affairs that we're going through, we might have to change some things because, gosh darn it. we even talk about bees and stuff like that in book 1. Murder hornets, what? I know, right?
Man, I don't know. Maybe I should stay away from your crazy.
Stay away from all my creative things, because if it's my book, if it's any of my book series, something weird's going to happen in the future or the current timeline. If it's in a podcast or something like that, all my podcast co-hosts, they've all been sick because I do 3 podcasts and they're all sick.
So this is all. It all traces back to you.
Oh my God, I'm the one.
It really does.
It's a freaking butterfly effect. I'm Ashton Kutcher, everyone. Thanks so much for showing up. Y'all have been punked. I feel like crap. Thanks so much.
But speaking of all the crazy times, how are you guys keeping busy? How are you and Ann keeping busy during? Ann is his wife, by the way. She's an amazing person who has one of the coolest nerdy retro shops in Washington, in the country. The Retro Emporium in Kent, Washington. So if you're ever in Washington, come and visit the Emporium and get some like Garbage Pail Kid cards and stuff, all that cool stuff. And they're always adding video games and toys, and you guys carry movies and records now, and local artists have all their wares there. The place is amazing.
It's one of those things where like people will come in that that have never come in before, and you can literally see the cogs moving behind their eyes, like they don't know what they just walked into, because when you walk in that first the entryway is very deceiving. It looks like you just walked into your parents' old living room or your grandma's living room from your childhood, and you walk in and you're like, okay, what did I just walk into? And then you walk past that and you're like, holy crap, I don't have enough time. I was just going to come in here for 5 minutes, and this place is like, I got, and this is not me saying this as somebody who like owns and works at the shop, but like my wife has created a space for people to like, just, if you don't mind me saying, lose their shit each and every time. And they do it, and then they'll come back and they'll do it again, because you ask how do we keep ourselves busy. I think in the times my day job has kept me giving me like a furlough schedule, so I'll be on my day job and work for like a couple weeks and then be off for a week, and that off week, man, I'm there working like I was still like working, and I'm like moving things around, building stuff. Like, you know, we're redoing an area and doing a full swap over of things. And it's insanity, but it's good insanity, right? It's keeping us busy. It's keeping the store fresh. And people come in and they're like, oh my gosh, when did you get this? And yeah, I mean, like, we're just constantly redoing things. Like last week, or last month, she won a window display challenge for our downtown area. They threw it out there. They threw the gauntlet down. There's like the best window. We're looking for the best window display. You know, who's got the best window display? And she was like, she brought in that inner Jonathan or Hollywood for mannequin. And I was definitely the dummy, right? So like, you know, I just look pretty. So I just moved things around for her, and she made up this window, and it, you know, got the votes. It won. And she keeps, every time she changes it up, it's what people are like, oh my gosh, like they just don't know what to do. But we got the okay to make some other big renovations, so who knows what the future will hold in the back room. Right now we have a mock video store at where our arcade used to be. COVID kind of took out the arcade and the gameplay area, but we've got this really cool retro video store. So if you're jonesing for your Hollywood video, your blockbuster vibes, we've got that going on back there for you. As I used to work at a Hollywood Game Crazy and a video update, so it's very authentic.
Nice.
Down to the racks.
Down to the racks. That's cool.
Yes.
Man. Like I went to the shop literally just around a year ago. I was actually on Facebook earlier, and you know, like the Facebook memories pop up, and there was a picture of SteveStrout.com visited the Retro Emporium, and it was pretty cool. So that's still up on there. So if you guys want to see the shop, it's a year ago, and it's evolved quite a bit since then, but you can still kind of get an idea of what's going on there. It's a really cool place.
If you go check out the Etsy page or the Facebook page or the Instagram page, or hit up our Twitter, or even go to the Etsy page and stuff like that, you'll see all the cool things. If you see something in a picture or a video that I do for Twitter or TikTok, or if you see pictures that Ann does for any of her Instagram stuff, and you're into it and that's your jam, and you're like, I can't get to the shop because of whatever, you know, I live too far away, COVID's got me locked down, but I really want that thing before somebody else snatches it up, send us a message. We will ship it. We'll pack it. We will ship it. We will send it.
Yes. You know, I've actually purchased stuff from Ann a couple times, and she packs everything well. She ships fast, like really fast. Like I just hit enter and send on my PayPal account, and then we get a knock on my door, like delivery from Ann. Yeah.
We've it's crazy. I wish, like, I'm pretty sure like we're held up to like NDAs or something like that. Or like we can't say like we sent to certain people, but we've had some cool folks reach out who have found us online, and from all sorts of films and other things. It's kind of like, what, I'm sending this to where? To who? Yeah. So I'm like looking at the packages, and I'm like bringing them to the post office, because that's one of my jobs that she actually trusts me with. I'm the guy that delivers the mail, like a post person, to the post office. And I'm like, oh, okay, going to the studio. Why is it going to the studio? What are they going to do with it? So it's kind of interesting to wonder where some of these things might end up, or where, you know, who bought it and for what.
So it sounds like you guys managed to hang in there through COVID. You guys are open now.
Yeah. If it wasn't for all the people who we've met at shows and conventions in the last like 12 years, while she's been doing this, and the people who have shopped online and stuff like that, during the lockdowns, we would have probably like been like every other shop that sells pop culture stuff or comics and stuff like that, and have been skating on thin ice. And even after reopening, I mean, it was definitely like, cross your fingers, grit your teeth kind of moments of, will we make a day? Will we zero on a till? Is it, will it make a day? I mean, it's not like we're a corporate store or anything like that, but it's like, is making a day enough do we make enough money to actually pay to have the lights on? Literally, was it even worth being here? That kind of thing, like, and we're talking like, did we make $10? And that's crazy to think that way. But I mean, that's, would it have been, and we were at a point at some points where it's like, it's just easier. It makes more sense to not be there during a lot of the hours that we see other people in their stores. But we changed our hours a bit, but it's been beneficial. It's been great because the people know they got to come during the times that we're open, and we'll do whatever they want for them, i.e. like show them all the cool stuff or find the cool stuff for them and bring it into the store.
Yeah, you guys
did today.
that you and Ann, you talk about all the followers and stuff from conventions, all the people you met over the years. Like, you guys really leave like a lasting impression. Like, you guys are just good, genuine, fun people. And it's like really, I didn't know you. We just met like randomly.
No, dude.
Like,
are you going to tell the people?
We're going to tell the story? Okay. So Greg was doing a signing of Junior Braves at a local bookstore. And I think we followed each other on Twitter or something already, because we were both, everybody knows each other on the scene here in the Northwest at Comic-Con and everything. So I got an email from Greg saying, I'm doing a signing at so-and-so bookstore, and you should try to stop by. And here's, he sent me links to the book and everything. I hadn't read it at that point. And so I checked it out, and I was like, yeah, I'll try to come check it out. And he's like, cool. He replied, and he left a PS in the reply, and it was, I love your con poop pictures. So thing is, somehow, like, I don't know why, sometimes I share a little too much. I don't do that as much anymore. I grew up a little bit, very, very little bit. But I used to
just a little.
When I was doing all the conventions and covering them for the site, I had this thing where I would take a selfie using the restroom, and hashtag con poop selfie, and it like I somehow it got me some followers. People were into it. Like, it's weird. Like, my people, those are my people, the poop folks.
I think one of the first pictures I saw that you posted was that, and my buddy Nick was like, dude, have you seen this guy's post? He posts poop pictures all the time. So you sold me. I was sold at that point. It's like, follower right there.
Nice. That's
anyone that's willing to share themselves at their most vulnerable.
That's kind of how I looked at it. It's like my most vulnerable, like you said. It's me. Yeah, like all of me. I mean, the pictures weren't like waist down.
No.
And not actual pictures of the product. It was just my smiling face with maybe a thumbs up.
Always a thumbs up.
Always
no product. Oh man. Whew. I'm glad
that's how we connected.
Although, I mean, if you were to make pictures of the product, I'm pretty sure there would be a FO page for you where you could probably make a ton of money, dude.
See, I don't. That's not my.
I'm just joking.
Yeah. No, I'll pass on that.
Yeah, literally. Pass.
Oh, man. Well, yeah, man.
You'd have to change your name and everything too.
Yeah, you can Strout, not Strout. Speaking of Anne, she thought my last name was Strout, but it's Strout. It's Trout.
You'd have to, you go by your alter ego.
The fish with an S at the beginning. That's
You
it.
go by your alter ego.
Alter ego. Stroot, the poop selfie guy.
I'm the poop selfie, Stroot.
Yeah, it's interesting. So how many other people out here have bonded with another adult over poop?
Over poop.
I want people to tweet at me, and I want to know who else has bonded over poop.
Tell Steve your poop stories.
I want to hear your poop stories. I don't want to see your poop.
No.
Don't want to see
no product.
No product. No product. I just want to hear the stories.
He wants to see your soul in your stories, not your stool.
Your soul, not your stool. That should be like a mug. Mug idea. Your soul, not your stool.
Your soul, not your stool.
That's kind of good. But run down all the places on social media we could find the comic. We could find you.
Okay, let's see. So you can find Starlight Comic at starlightcomic.com. You can find it at Starlight Comic or at Starlight Comic on Twitter, Instagram, at Starlight Comic on Facebook. Find it once we get our Kickstarter page up, then we will blast all those social media feeds with Starlight Comic Kickstarter information. You can find also more Junior Braves stuff at Junior Braves 65 on Facebook. 65, for those who are not in the know, is the tribe number. Tribe is like a troop, and the Junior Braves are kind of like scouts. So Junior Braves 65 on Twitter as well, and on Instagram. You can find all our books for Junior Braves at most of your local retailers. If you have a local comic shop that you like, just hit them up and say, looking for Junior Braves from Oni Press, and they can order it in, or you can find it at other bookstores or the Amazon near you or your phone. And if you like listening to this voice just for podcasts, and you'll want to hear more podcasts, you can find me the co-writer for Starlight, Travis Webb, and I do a Kickstarter. Oh, Kickstarter is in my brain, dude. We do a podcast called Narrative Gunslingers, where we talk to guests about stories that got them into creating, and what it was that they liked about that. So if you want to hear more about that and more about the creative process from two writers and different creators from all walks of life and all different kind of creative scopes, because we talk to writers, we talk to producers, we talk to musicians, we talk to artists. So all different types of people. Narrative Gunslingers is a podcast for you. I do another podcast called Funny Book Forensics. I do that with my friend Dan Shabat, and we do a kind of just a chop up comic books like we used to when we were in high school. We sit down and just kind of run through the old backlog of all of our old long box books that we used to read, and look at them through a different scope, I guess, if you will. We're a little older now, and does it hold up? Do we like the story? What do we like about the story? What do we like about the art? Because, what we liked might be different now that we know a little bit more about stuff. As a writer, I have a different take on things, and then as a historian, Dan has a different take on things, and he'll definitely not pull any punches when he talks about it. And then if you like horror stuff, then you can find Nerds from the Crypt, which is the podcast which I do with Saul Perez and David Mayer, the intern of gold, the golden intern, the best intern ever. I have to say that. I actually paid to say that kind of stuff by his mom.
His mom.
So the check should be clearing. I'm pretty excited. So
if it don't clear, I could edit that out.
Yeah, you can edit it out, and then I'll ask for another one. But we can't tell David that his mom pays me to say this nice stuff about it, because he's supposed to believe that it's true. No, I'm just joking. No, he's an awesome dude, and the three of us talk about all of our favorite Tales from the Crypt episodes and horror movies, horror comics, Kickstarters that are going on, horror video games, and other things. I've been playing a lot of Friday the 13th lately, and that's super fun. So if you haven't played that game, go murder some people or run away from Jason. I mean, it's a give and take. Sometimes you're Jason, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you don't want to be Jason and you become Jason. And you're like, damn it, I got to go on mute everybody that you're playing with, and you got to go find them. And you're like, ha, I got you. And then you feel bad when you find out that it was, one of your friends, not some rando in the room you just myrtleized like I did. You could throw a car in that game.
An actual car?
Well, it's not. You're not supposed to. There's like a weird glitch or something like that. Like I watched somebody do it. I was like, okay, we're dying.
See,
they grabbed the car.
I've never played the game, so just hearing you
man.
talk about it was just like one of the craziest rants ever.
Dude, okay, if you haven't played it, dude, you gotta it's on every. I think like they put it out, and you could probably get it on every current game system that's out there right now. So if you play on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Switch, or Steam, you can whatever's your gaming platform of choice, and it's.
I think I have a NES in the closet.
Oh, well then you could go find the original old school Friday the 13th and just play that. And that is still hella fun. You know what's crazy is they have you can pick your Jasons and stuff like that. And one of the Jasons that you can pick is the old school original Friday the 13th video game skin Jason for the video
new game. Yeah,
in the new game. So the first time I saw that, I lost my business. Like, somebody, like, all of a sudden, like, we're all sitting around a campfire before like the thing starts, and like all of a sudden the cut screen goes and everybody's sitting there, and then like Jason pops out of nowhere and starts stabbing the crap out of somebody, and you're like, oh no, and everybody runs, and you look and it's like Jason for the Friday 13th, but it's like just the colors and everything like that, not all 8-bitty, but it that super bright purple and like bright blue and everything. I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome. Kill me, Jason, you look so great. Yeah,
see, this enthusiasm is why I was excited to have you on here to talk, because it's just like it's a breath of fresh air. You're a breath of fresh air, Greg.
Well, thank you. This is also the kind of enthusiasm people get when they come into the store and they don't know what to expect, because I'm like, hey, how's it going? And they're like, oh my god, do you work here? Because I'm not usually wearing a shirt that says that I work there. So I'm supposed to wear a shirt that says that I work there, because usually it just looks like I just came off the street. And I'm like, hey, how's it going? And they're like, oh my god.
So she don't have to keep you chained up in the back room anymore.
Yeah. And with mask on and stuff like that now, everybody's like, I don't know if I should smile or just be running backwards.
Oh, it's a mask. That's great. Like, you still find yourself smiling at strangers with
all
the mask
time.
on?
Oh, dude. Okay. I will tell you, like, 2020 will be my, I'm having a tough time struggling with this. Like, smiling at people, just genuinely, and it's just me. I genuinely smile at people. I talk to people like, hey, how's it going? How's your day? I make small talk with people when I'm at the store or whatever like that. Like if I'm at the store, or if I'm even out at a store, I see somebody walking out and, oh, hey, hello, I'm the chatty person, whatever. I don't know, just how I am. Or I'll hold the door for somebody. I forget sometimes you can't do that anymore because people think you're trying to murder them to death because you held the door. And I'm like, I'm on the other side of the glass. Everything that I might have, you cannot get because there's a giant piece of glass between us. You cannot, there's a barrier. This is like on TV when they show the big barrier between all the people, like, the safety glass. This is what the door is for us. But then you are now telling me that I need to move because you will not come through the door. And this is what I have to learn to not do anymore, is hold the door.
No, you know what? You keep being you, and you're gonna make being nice cool again.
Oh, darn it!
Remember when being nice was cool?
Yeah, being nice is cool. I'm bringing back being nice.
Bringing back being nice.
I'm gonna hold the door and wave at people and smile underneath my mask, and people are gonna think I'm.
Yeah, just draw a smile on your mask. just point at it when you need people to know you're smiling.
So like the Joker smile.
Yeah. It's not as creepy. But yeah, man. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chatting.
Dude, thanks for having me.
It took us a while to get it to happen, but COVID stuff and life and
COVID life, yeah, COVID life.
What's up? All that bullshit.
Oh man.
Keep being nice, and I'll drop all I'll round up all your links to all the stuff. Make sure everybody sees it when we share this, and we'll post it. And
yes, I'm doing a happy dance right now because I'm
learning. I'm trying to be nice. I'm learning. I'm learning. You're inspiring me to be nice.
Steve, you've always been nice. I've never not had a nice moment with you.
Well, if you were in the stall with me when I took my selfies, it wouldn't be so nice.
It was rowdy.
It wouldn't be so nice.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, why would I be in the stall with you?
I'm just saying. You say I'm always nice. I'm just giving you an example when I'm not nice.
If I was in the stall with you, you'd be like, "Get out of the stall!
Get out of here!"
And I'm like, "But I got a party hat."
Okay, you wear a party hat. You wear a party hat to the stall. You can get in the selfie with me.
Yay!
No. Let's not. Well, let's end it on that.
But I brought a
before it gets too weird. Let's end it right there.
Then I say I brought a pinata. That's like not weird.
Yeah, no.
But, you could edit that.
Yeah. No, we're gonna leave the pinata in there.
Cut.
No, to show he's not only nice, he's very cultured. Bringing pinatas to the poop selfie party.
But
and
what's inside of it? Pudding.
Okay, we're gonna wrap it up now. Thanks again for coming on, and I'll probably have nightmares about Greg in a party hat with a pudding-filled pinata next time I'm pooping.
I'm sorry.
Thanks, man.
I
appreciate you. Thanks to Greg Smith for hanging out with us here on the Steve and Crypto Show. And thank you guys for listening. And a big special shout out to Crypto's little guy for the monster growls and zombie snarls in the background while we were recording. It was kind of fitting on this episode, I must say. So, yeah, thank you guys. Check out Greg Smith on all of his social media outlets. And be sure to keep checking back at thestevestrout.com for updates on this show and a lot more. Thanks, guys.